Welcome back, recruits. I'm Chris Nance with the Northern California Ghostbusters, and today, for part 5 of how to build a hero proton pack, we're going to be showing you how to attach your bumper. Now, you will probably notice we released pretty much everything else, but because the bumper is a little bit more involved and you really want to go slow and take your time while you're doing it, we're doing this as its own separate video. Let's get going. Ah, damn it. I thought I had a coffee burp coming. I was gonna just start recording by burping loudly into the mic because I am mature.
That's great. That's more work for me.
Yeah. So this is the old GB Fans resin cast bumper. Pretty solid option, very well made, very little casting damage and everything, so it's pretty easy to do any fill work and everything and get it painted and up to snuff. But just like all classic bumpers, it just attaches by 2 1/4-20 screws on either side. And in order to do that, we're gonna have to drill a couple more holes in a shell to get it to mount. If you go hunting around on the Ghostbusters reference library, what you will see is on the gun hook side of the pack, it attaches kind of approximately to the very bottom of this spacer, or possibly right in the seam between these two, the first and second spacer. That's usually where I place mine. That seems to give it kind of the best look and most correct position that I can tell.
Does that vary on pack to pack?
The spacer or the placement?
The placement.
I don't think so, no. I think it's pretty consistent on all of the different packs. Because we're working with a straight line, basically, what you can do is just kind of align one side, and that will put the other side right where you want it on the other side of the pack.
Right.
So you don't have to worry quite so much about counting the cyclotron spacers on the power cell side so much. What you will also notice, and this bumper is just a little bit, it doesn't fit quite snug against the pack. So that creates a little bit of a challenge when you're actually mounting it. And the trick here is to use some attachments. So what we're gonna do here.
And if you need to buy a bumper, you can try GB Fans. If GB Fans is sold out, Dragon's Workshop can resin print them for you.
Yes.
That would be a custom order. You have to ask them for that. And then there's also people who have STL files and can 3D print them.
Yeah.
Lots of options.
The real popular option right now on the market is a lot of people are doing the Q-Pack bumpers. Those are solid little bumpers. In fact, we have a couple of them floating around in the workshop still. Yeah.
So many parts everywhere.
Yep. And they come with a couple of different options, and the Q-Pack files have a couple of different options, whether you want to mount your bumper to a HasLab pack, so it has to have the little guide rails that it sits on, or if you're doing the Q-Pack, or which you can pretty much just directly adapt to something like a fiberglass shell. I feel like there's a detail I'm forgetting here.
Don't worry, the community will gladly call you out.
Yeah,
if you miss a detail.
everybody's going to remind me. The comment section will remind me.
When you wake up and have 500 comments in the video, you'll be like, oh God.
What did I say to you? Your phone lines are over there. Hey, what did I say? How many times? Hey.
So this is where it gets a little bit tricky in the bumper attachment. As I mentioned before, on the gun track side, you want to place it kind of at the bottom edge, almost between the two spacers, the top 2 spacers on this side. And what I've just done is I've just flipped everything onto its side, and thankfully I have the injector tubes and stuff on here, so those are actually kind of helping hold it more or less level on its side here. And then I took my C-clamp and tightened it down to hold the bumper in place on one side. You will notice when I pick it up and we look at how it's sitting now, is it's kind of sitting weird and floating way out here. So there is a little bit of a gap between the bumper and the shell on this. So that might honestly be from me accidentally almost melting this bumper when I first got it. It was a really hot summer, you guys. So hopefully, theoretically, whatever bumper you're attaching to your shell is more fitted to the shell than what we're working with right here. That said, something like this where it's got a little extra ½ inch gap, basically I can mount that in such a way that it leaves only a 1/4 inch gap on each side, and then I can tighten it back down with the bolts. So it's not a huge issue. It just makes attaching your bumper a little bit more difficult.
I can use a cloth for the C-clamp this time?
No, because I'm not really putting any weight on it, and I'm mostly just using the C-clamp to hold the part in place, basically. So the other thing is you're gonna want the bottom edge of your bumper to sit kind of flush with the edge of your shell as well. That'll put it kind of just above the motherboard, so it should have plenty of clearance and everything should attach just fine still. But you do want to get it like kind of nice and flush there. And that'll give it the correct rise on the front side, because it does lift away from the face of the cyclotron by about 3/4 of an inch, thereabouts, something like that. Here, let me turn it.
Black on black is hard.
Yeah, not a whole lot to contrast there.
Yeah.
Same process as everything that we showed you in part 3. We're going to be running our drill bit in reverse, as always, when we're drilling on fiberglass. And I'm going to start with an 1/8 inch just to give us a pilot hole. Although, I am real tempted to just go straight to 1/4.
Why?
So I don't have to worry about centering up the pilot.
Ow.
The only thing to kind of be careful when you're doing it this way is the alignment of your bumper vertically. So you don't want to end up with it crooked one way or the other. And on these 2-leg bumpers, on the classic bumpers, it's kind of easy to do that. But I would prefer to do this standing up and pushing down. If you have the option while you're drilling, try to set yourself up so that you're applying downward pressure, because it's easier to stay straight. But in this case, I kind of don't have an option. So, and I'm only screwing it in to kind of help get the screw to go in. There's no threading or anything involved here.
Yeah, you're not tapping it, which is just going to go right through because you're going to bolt it on the other side.
Exactly. With that first screw in and just holding things in place, it's not bolted on or anything. It's just long enough to kind of hold everything. That's kind of helping me pin things on that side, so it's not wanting to float and bounce around or anything. And now I can come over to this side with the C-clamp, clamp this down where I'm fairly certain, I'm feeling pretty happy with the placement on this. It is, what's it, 3, kind of approximately between the 3rd and 4th cyclotron spacer, kind of directly below your injector arm or injector tubes here. You're probably going to end up going through the edge of one of the spacers.
Which, if you're going through one of your spacers, which isn't a big deal, right?
It's not a big deal. It's going to look terrible when you first do it because it's right at the edge, and the size of the drill bit that we're using, it's just going to end up like causing a big chip right at the edge of the spacer. That said, it's totally hidden underneath your bumper. If it bothers you, definitely take a little bit of milliput and repair it and reshape it. But that is tricky to do because you don't want to fill the hole that you just made.
Chris, that's not safe.
Probably not.
Where's your mask?
I do this.
So we're going to take the C-clamp off. The only thing holding the bumper on are the 2 screws that I just put in place temporarily. Yes, I know that's not the correct screw. Stop it.
Sorry, bolt, right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the correct bolt. That's actually a Philister head bolt.
Placeholder.
It's just a placeholder because it's the right size screw. Okay. As I recommend, go to Fastenal, get yourself a 1/2 Philister head screws in a 1/4 20. I like the big long boys, so then it gives you enough wiggle room that you can attach your shock knob, whether you want to go through the cyclotron face or not. It gives you enough wiggle room that you can. And if you don't, then you just do like the GB1 style mount, like GB1 mounting or GB2 mounting, and just like tap it directly to the bumper instead. So all I'm doing is taking a couple pieces of tape and trying to add a little bit more support so it doesn't wiggle back and forth while I drill the bottom hole on this side, just to make sure that I don't mess up my vertical inflection on this too much. If it does happen, it's not ideal, but you can still recover either by filling the holes with Milliput and redoing it, or you can do like I did with like the clip art disc, where we just kind of went a little bit further with our hole sizes until we could get it all to align how we wanted it. I knew I was going to hit my thumb.
Ouch.
So now that we have 3 out of our 4 screws kind of in place, as you can see down here next to the C-clamp, like I don't have anything bolted in. It's all just, you know, the screws are through the holes to kind of help hold everything. If I take this C-clamp off, you can see there's a reason why I have the C-clamp there. So even with all 3 on there, like, look at how much wiggle I have up and down. So again, we're still paying attention to our vertical inflection on the bumper itself. Want to try to keep it relatively straight, and to help with that, I'm just popping the C-clamp into place basically on the other side to help kind of give it some more resistance so it doesn't want to move too much while I'm drilling. See? Did you see? It immediately jumped on me.
Again, Chris isn't threading. We're just putting it in for placement. No tapping here.
Yeah, no tapping or anything. I need to clean up the hole a little bit, that's all. Should be able to go right through at this point. Yeah, there it is. So we have one last hole to drill here, and that's going to be through the face of the bumper here underneath where the shock knob sits. And in order to do that, we've got all 4 of our screws just holding the bumper in place for us.
On both sides.
And then we're going to use the bumper itself as our guide.
Nice and easy, Happy.
Little bit of resin, but that's fine. We're just gonna take the bumper off here so I can clean up the center post hole. And the easiest way to do that is just gonna be to flip the whole shell over and do it from the inside. And that's just to make it easier for the screw to pass through as needed. But now we can, I should be able to. Damn.
Clean it up more.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm gonna do actually? We're gonna step up from a 1/4 inch bit to a 1764 bit. So
your numbers mean nothing to me. What is this European gauge of measurements?
I'm sorry, do you not have a 115 piece drill bit set?
No.
This whole build is practically brought to you by Harbor Freight. Now, we should have plenty of space to do that. Voila. And that is how you attach the bumper to your Proton Pack. Now, the process is going to remain pretty much the same if you were putting a bumper onto a fiberglass shell, no matter what kind of bumper you're using. Today we're using a resin cast bumper. If you're using something that's 3D printed though, or anything like that, pretty much going to do the same sort of process to get it attached and drill all of your holes for it. If you're still looking for a bumper of your own, what we used today was the resin cast bumper from GB Fans. I believe AJ is completely out of stock of them currently. If you do not feel like being patient, reach out to Dragon Workshop. Dragon always does amazing work, and I know that he has resin casting and resin printing available to him. If the 3D print route is okay with you, what you can do is go ahead and get the Q-Pack bumper printed for you. Friend of the show, Guy of the 80s, also offers 3D print services. He has done several pieces for us for our current builds, in fact.
Big pieces, big one pieces.
Yeah, big single pieces. So you can get them made out of a single piece, printed out of a single piece on a large enough printer out of PLA. With that being said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you'd like to ask for my mother's chicken soup recipe, feel free to pop into the comments down below, or there's a link to our Discord down in the description. It is a great place to get feedback, advice, some direction, really, to show off your Proton Packs. We love seeing everybody's Proton Packs. So feel free to hop in there and just come hang out with us. Please do not forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Just give it a little ringy-dingy. The holiday season is coming up and we could really use your alms. I'm Chris Nance with the Northern California Ghostbusters. We'll see you next time, recruits.
Let's see what happens when we take away the puppy.